Hey y'all. I'm in the middle of meditation, but I just wanted to stop and just briefly talk about something really quick. Uh so recently, somebody asked me about the samples in my music, right? And um I told them that I produced everything myself. And um I'm letting y'all know I produced everything by myself. There is music, old music that I have out that I didn't produce by myself, like old, when I was just, learning how to, express myself through music. But for the most part, all the newer stuff, the stuff that you see that's under the name Taradreamtime, I produced it myself. And I'm just saying that all to say that a lot of you guys that have encountered me or even talked to me briefly, more than likely you yourself have untapped potential and may have forgotten that part of yourself, or may have not forgotten but may have been scared to actually, embody that divine part of yourself, or that flow of energy, allow that flow of energy to move within you. So many of us are sitting on gifts and abilities that we don't know exist within us. And so also, so how I wanted to see, it connected to what the guy was talking about the music. He basically was like, oh, so you're standing in your power, because a lot of times, especially artists nowadays, uh, like they, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of work. So all the stuff that I created, it took a lot of energy, it took a lot of effort, but I know that's what I wanted to do, so I did it. There was a period in time where I literally just was thinking in my mind, like, what if I become my own producer? I was recording on other people's beats, and I'm like, okay, well, that would be empowering. That would be empowering for to be a melanated woman and be my own producer. That would be empowering for me, and I wanted to challenge my own self. With that challenge, I ended up creating something even newer, something even different. I even end up creating experimental music, or um, something that I never heard before, or I've never encountered. And that's another thing with you know what you decide to make, or what you decide to create, and what you decide to build on, is think about the things that you never see, or what you want to see that don't exist, and actually think about, like, okay, well, it doesn't exist right now, I don't see it, so why not I be the person to create it or invent it, right? Invent it. So a lot of you guys really don't even think that highly of yourselves, that you could be an inventor, or that you are an inventor, that you're able to invent something new. Of course, you can mix in whatever you want from old. Everything recycles itself. You know the universe, is vast. The universe is vast, right? There's so many ways to look at it. There's so many ways to look at things and perspectives. There's so many realities, and there's so many dimensions and timelines. So with that being said, there's no limit to who you can be, what you can be, and what you can do. And I proved that to myself, because at first I was like, no, I didn't grow up off making music or instruments or none of that. Yeah, I did dance when I was younger a little bit, But no, I didn't make music until like, I started writing music in high school. Then after that, like, started, finding beats and stuff. And then, I got to the point where, I got upset. Like, I mean, it wasn't upset, but I just wasn't, it wasn't the sound that I was looking for. It wasn't the sound that I wanted for myself or that I could see or feel inside of me. So when I got like, okay, I got Logic, I started messing around with it. And mind you, I just used a class on Udemy. To learn some of the basics of Logic. And then that's when I created that music myself, mixed it myself, everything. It takes time. You're going to need time to dedicate to it. But a lot of us think we don't have time, but we do. You can create that time for yourself. You just have to put your foot down and decide, like, okay, this is what I want to do. I'm going to do this right now. Sometimes it may seem like you're going against, like I said, societal norms or what you're supposed to be doing, but nobody can tell you what you're supposed to be doing. That's between you and source. Whatever you do is between you and source. So anything, like, there's no limit. There's no limits to who you can be, what you can create, what you can invent, And that's the part too where a lot of, people don't want you to tap into, this society don't want you to tap into, because that'll be the point where, that'll set people free. That'll set souls free, that'll set you free. When you realize that you're way bigger than what you think you are, or what people make you think you are. You go outside, I'm gonna tell you, you go outside, a lot of people, a lot of places you go, you're not gonna feel like you're as big as you are. So and people are gonna try to, like I said, mind control and all that stuff is real. Like, people are gonna try to convince you wholeheartedly certain things aren't real, or certain realities aren't in anymore. There's no way through that without selling out. There's no way through that without doing this and that. Like, this is the only thing that exists. But you guys gotta realize we're not in the same time period anymore. We're not in the same timeline. We're not on the same earth. We're not on the same planet that we used to be on. The rules are changing. So now it's time to learn, who you are, what you are, and discover wholeheartedly what you are. Study yourself. That's where you're really gonna, learn to expand. You study yourself. My whole goal is to study myself. Because that's when I'm able to show other people, like, I literally like to break the limits. I mean, I like to test the limits of my body sometimes. Just like when people work out, you like to push your own limits. And that's what I like to do for myself. And that's a part of me getting out of my comfort zone, forcing myself to, be opposite of that fear that I was raised under. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of us are in that. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna take time. It's painful sometimes, and it's hard to push through that energy. But once you do, you're gonna realize it was all worth it. So, all right, y'all. Peace.